How's it going, everyone? It is the investing guy here, and this is how the portfolios did today. We're down $77, so it's okay. Not a bad day, not a great day, but we're doing all right. For you guys, a video on 4 different stocks that not only have a high dividend, but have also been increasing the dividend. There were a few prerequisites for these stocks that I picked. So first off, they need to have a high dividend, which I determined to be 7% or higher. And not only that, they need to be constantly increasing that dividend. That's right. So not only do you have a high dividend payer, but you also have 4 stocks that are constantly increasing that dividend. Also, make sure that you stick around till the end, because I do have one stock that I am closely looking at and am thinking of purchasing for the portfolio. I'm sure that it's one that not many have talked about. So make sure that you stick all the way to the end and catch that surprise stock. All right, if you do appreciate this type of content, make sure that you smash that subscribe button and you support the channel, and that you also press that like button down below. Ticker symbol MO, and it is a stock that is down 11% on the past year, and it is trading at $45.16. Now, this stock currently does have a dividend yield of 8.07. Just realize that there is a reason why Altria is trading so low, and it is trading at such a high dividend. It is a pretty risky play, but I myself do like what I see with Altria. Let's look at their dividend record here. I'm only going to focus here on the previous 5 years, and we see that they had about 70-cent dividend back in 2018, and they've been increasing that quite a bit. Now, it has slowed down in the previous years. We do see here that they had a 10-cent increase from 2018 to 2019, and then a 4-cent increase, 2-cent increase, 4-cent increase, and another 4-cent increase. So we haven't seen those 10-cent increases, but if we're getting such a high dividend like 8%, I don't expect to be getting, those 10-cent increases, which would be more than 10% from a company like Altria. I do expect those smaller dividends. So not only is it compounding, but it's also growing its dividends. So currently Altria is being rated as a hold, more on the buy side though. 3 analysts, so 30%, are saying it is a strong buy. 2 analysts, or 20%, are saying this is a strong sell, and then 5 analysts are saying it is a current hold, according to some of the forecasts that I see here. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say that this max forecast seems a bit unrealistic, and I am not taking this into account. Now, with that being said, the minimum forecast is a negative 20% from here, which would put the stock at about $36. The average forecast is a $77 increase. Now, I would put this a lot lower just because this is such an outlier. I would say the average forecast that I've seen is about $55 per share. Ares Capital, ticker symbol ARCC, and it is currently paying a dividend of about 9.89, well past our minimum of 7% and more than Altria. Now, a lot of these stocks that I do talk about, I do currently own, and I will let you guys know when I own certain stocks. Ares is one of these stocks that I do own quite a bit. I have 100 shares of Ares. Now, Ares is held quite strong this year. If you take into account the dividends that were paid this year, well, Ares probably ended the year at about maybe negative 2% or something like that. But if we just look at the graph, it will tell us that it's about negative 12% for the year. But we also need to remember that they do pay close to a 10% dividend, which would put it a lot closer to negative 2% for the year. Let's look at the previous 5 years for the dividend, and we do see that in 2018 they were paying 38 cents per share. Now, Ares does pay quarterly, so keep that in mind. One thing that I like here is that you see a constant dividend increase, other than here in 2020 when they had to decrease. I think we all know why. COVID-19. They had to decrease. The decrease wasn't that big. It was only a 2-cent decrease, but then they got right back to business and began increasing that dividend. We do see that they had a 4-cent increase here, which is pretty much 10% at the moment, and then another 5-cent increase just recently here for December, which brings the dividend up to 51 cents. Now, when we look at what the analysts have to say for Ares, we do see that they are more on the buy side here. 3 analysts, so 60%, do rate this a strong buy, and 2 analysts, or 40%, do rate this a buy. For Ares, we see all the forecasts here, which are pretty much positive. We do see the minimum forecast at $20 price target with an increase of about 6%. We also have an average forecast of about 10% and a max forecast of about an increase of 17%. Doubled with that dividend, we could see huge returns if something like this actually plays out. The third stock on my list that I have here is Enterprise Products, ticker symbol EPD. This is in the oil and gas industry, which to no surprise, is up, just like those top stocks that are also up, ExxonMobil and all those for the previous year. Enterprise does have a huge dividend of 7.36, so this is on the lower side of our list. Ares did have close to a 10%, and then Altria did have a little bit higher than 8%. So this one so far is the lowest one out of the three. One thing that I like about EPD is that they don't wait a whole year to increase their dividend. We see that a lot of the times they do increase their dividend every single quarter, like we did see here. And then we did see in COVID that they waited a whole year before they increased their dividend. Now, this one here doesn't have huge dividend increases, but when you have such a high dividend yield of 7%, you can't expect huge dividend increases. As long as we're getting these minimal increases will help a lot, and it'll be better than getting no increase at all. Looking at what the analysts have to say about EPD, they are rating it as a strong buy. We do see that about 67% of the analysts say that EPD is a strong buy, with the last 3 or 33% saying that EPD is at least a hold. So we do get this here on the verge of strong buy/buy. Now, what I really like about EPD is that if we look at the forecast here for EPD, we do see that the minimum forecast is $27, and that would be an increase of about almost 6%. We do have an average increase of about 20%, which would take it at a price target of $30 and some cents. And the max forecast, which would take us to a almost 30% increase, would be about $33. So given that it has a huge dividend and it also has quite a bit of upside, I really like EPD, which is why I decided to put it in this video. Now, the last stock that I have on my list of 4 is Arbor Realty Trust, ticker symbol ABR. It is currently trading at $14.20, and it is down about 22% for the previous year. We know that REITs have been hit quite hard, so REITs are one of the things that I'm looking to add on quite a bit, and Arbor Realty is one of those that I definitely want to add to. I do currently hold a few shares of Arbor Realty, and I am up about 1%, so it's right around the price where I purchase most of my shares of ABR. ABR does have the largest dividend of the 4 stocks that we've talked about, and it does have a dividend of 10.81%. We do see that in 2018, they were paying a 21-cent dividend per quarter, and they went ahead and pretty much increased the dividend every single quarter, as we see here. Other than here in December 2018, they continued to increase their dividend quite a bit. And one thing that I like here from ABR is that they are increasing their dividend a lot faster than other REITs. If we think of something like Realty Income, where they increase it by not even a penny, they are increasing their dividend quite a bit, by about a cent every single quarter. I am a little worried about how sustainable these increases actually are, and if we'll ever see a cut or maybe just a stall in the dividend. But for now, I'll enjoy what's happening, and I will definitely continue adding a little bit more ABR into my portfolio. ABR is rated a strong buy. We do see that 50% of the analysts rate this a strong buy, and the other 50% rate this a buy, which gets the marker pretty much right in between buy and strong buy. We see that all the forecasts are positive. We do see a $15 minimum forecast, which is a 5% increase. Again, doubled with that dividend. You will see if this does happen, there will be some nice returns. The average forecast is about 20% increase, which is $16.88. The max forecast is about a 30% increase with a price target of $18.15. Doubled with that huge dividend, we can see some very nice returns if something like this actually plays out. Now, if you made it this far, I do want to thank you. This is the last bonus stock that I have for you guys. I'm not going to cover it that in depth. This is PDI, PIMCO Dynamic Income Fund, which is a closed-end fund, and it is focused on creating income for its investors. It currently boasts a dividend of 13.21%, which is tremendous. Now, with PDI, I don't see it as a long-term hold for me. I do see this more as a upside play, and once it reaches a price target for me, which is about $25, $26, I do think I will sell if it plays out that way. If we simply look at this all-time chart for PDI, I think it's pretty obvious to say what's going to happen next. We do see these downturns and then it goes up. We did see it reach the $20 range here during the COVID crash, and then it jumped right back up to almost $30, and now we're seeing it back at that range. If I had to put my money on whether this is going to keep on going down or up, well, I'd have to say that I believe this is going up. PDI is not a dividend grower, so just keep that in mind. They do pay 22-cent dividend every single month. You get a monthly dividend payer here. They're actually paying more than 13% if you hold this for a whole year. Every December, they do a bonus payout. For example, in 2019, they paid 42 cents per share. They skipped the bonus payout in 2020. It was probably a really bad year with COVID, but in 2022, they jumped right back to giving those bonus payouts, and we see here that in 2022, they paid 65 cents per share. Looking to hold this, if I can hold this for a whole year, I would be more than glad to receive that special dividend in December.